How's it going, everyone? So with the influx of newer players to Dirty Bomb, I feel like there's more of a demand for guides, tips, and tricks videos. As such, I feel like I can add more to the ones you already have, so here it is, guys. Today, 5 easy to understand but useful tricks for Dirty Bomb players. Coming in at number 1 are headshots. So while I don't have the best aim by any means, I feel like I have some useful insight as far as improving your headshot rate, or how many headshots you can land. So the first thing I want to talk about is keeping your crosshairs level. Remember to always keep your crosshairs right around like head range. Like, you know, if you were to predict where the enemy will show up, just when you're walking around, make sure your crosshair isn't pointed at the ground or floor or whatever. Make sure you kind of just predict where you think the enemy will be. And this is important because, you know, this way when an enemy does come out of the corner or comes out of nowhere, you're not expecting them, the adjustment to aim to their head is not that high. You know, you don't have to move too much. For number 2, I want to talk about timers. So if you want to look in the upper left hand corner of your default HUD or HUD, you will see 2 timers. The big timer shows you how long until the game ends. So if you're attacking, that means how long you have to complete the objective. And if you're defending, it shows how long you have to hold off the attackers. Now the smaller timer is the spawn timer, which is really useful because it tells you, when each team will spawn. When you die in Dirty Bomb, you don't have a set amount of time before you can hop back in. It kind of depends more on when you die and where the spawn timer is. So if you die when there's only 3 seconds left in the spawn timer, you'll be back in the action way faster. Now, the timer is the same for everyone, friendlies and enemies alike, so if you keep an eye on it, the timer can actually be used tactically for like offensive or defensive reasons. So for example, if you know the timer is almost at 0, you and or your teammates can play a bit more aggressive and take advantage of that short respawn. Respectively, if you are a heavy flanker or just happen to be way deep into enemy territory, you can watch that timer to gauge when a new wave of enemies will be rushing out of their spawn location. Alrighty, so for number 3, I'll be talking about audio cues. So learn when people are coming, be on the alert if you hear footsteps. Now sometimes it can get a little bit confusing because you'll start noticing your own footsteps. You'll be wondering, hey, who's following me? But it's just, your own footsteps. But in my opinion, it's better to just check around and be safe rather than sorry. Now, this also extends to stuff like proxy mines. They do make some noise. It's like a chirping noise. So if you hear like a chirping audio cue, be sure to proceed with caution. Make sure to check your corners, check the stairs, be very, very careful. Airstrikes also have a sound. They have that initial poof sound and the sound of a bomber flying over. So if you hear that, make sure to take note and see if it's friendly or not. Alrighty, this one is so obvious, but coming in at number 4, I feel like I have to put this in here, is to drop ammo, guys. Please drop ammo. If you're playing Skyhammer or if you're playing Artie or Kira, whoever drops ammo, just spam those packs, please. I know you guys can't always remember, and completely understandable, but come on, there are like little ammo notifications that pop up on the screen if a player needs ammo, so keep an eye out for the little ammo icon. I can't tell you how many times I literally stood in front of a Skyhammer, I'm begging them for ammo, I'm team chatting them, I follow them around with my pistol out, I V22 command for the ammo, and they still don't give me ammo, guys. So please do this all a favor and drop ammo. Alrighty, so coming in at number 5, we have mouse settings. I know everyone talks about it, but this really does help in a game like Dirty Bomb, at least with your aim. The lower the mouse sensitivity, the easier it will be for you to track your targets. The reason being is because if you only have to move your mouse 2 inches on the mouse pad for a 360, aiming at moving targets who are, at a distance can be really, really hard to track. And that's because it's generally harder to pinpoint something if you're trying to get a shot on that is only moving a few pixels, and if all it takes for you to move 1,000 pixels or something is like an inch, that's just gonna be so hard to land that shot. For example, I'll give you like a real life example. It would be like sort of trying to make a really small, delicate, surgical incision with like a battle axe or something. The tool is just too big for the job. Sure, maybe it can be done, but it's just way easier to whip out something that's a bit more refined. Now, I would say stuff like, oh, it depends on the player and whatever, but I found that most people, usually like 99% of the time, it's that they have too high of a sensitivity and they just got used to it from playing different games. So definitely give it a try. Lower your sensitivity below the default 20 or whatever it is. If you're used to playing with high sensitivity, you know, you'll be used to flicking your wrist around to aim. It will be a little bit different, so you're gonna have to try to adjust by pivoting more with your forearm / elbow. You know, this may feel a little weird, but you guys may be surprised at the sudden change in your accuracy. One thing that does come with lowering your sensitivity is that you may need a bigger mouse pad. My mouse pad is like a size up from the standard. I don't even know how to describe it, but you know how you have the standard square shape? Mine's a bit more of a rectangle shape. Really helps. And you know, also experiment around with the settings. Of course, you can go too low. It kind of depends on everyone how low you can really go to feel comfortable. How low can you go? Is that a song? Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. Check out disabling your mouse acceleration. All right, guys. Just do a quick Google search. I won't get into too much into like why you should or what it is, but just know that your muscle memory will improve drastically if you disable this feature, especially in a first-person shooter like Dirty Bomb. You can find it in the mouse settings on Windows. It's not like actually in-game, I don't think. So, like I said, if you're curious as to why I'm telling you this, just do a quick Google search. It'll show you tons and tons of articles and literature about mouse acceleration. You guys can read up all you want on mouse acceleration. But you know what? I think this wraps up today's video. That was 5 tips. So please be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Click the subscribe button if you want to see more of my content. And if you guys have any sort of suggestions as to what I should cover next in Dirty Bomb, you know, please let me know in the comment section below. And for all my PlanetSide 2 viewers, I do apologize for not putting out more PlanetSide 2 content. It's just the game is really funky with recording with Shadowplay. I mean, there's a couple of reasons, I'll get into them later, but the main reason is because, like, I don't know what it is, but it stutters a lot when I'm recording with Shadowplay. So I do apologize for not putting out more PlanetSide 2 content. And if you missed my last video, I did mention I have a Twitch account now. I'm doing some streams. I did a little bit last night, but not that many people, if anyone, saw it. Let me know what times work best for you. I'm sort of new to the whole Twitch thing. And with all that said and done, I'll see you guys in the next episode.